untouched by the Aggies defense. And Hamilton is up 6-0 here in the first quarter.
Good job by Arbor for keeping cool in the pocket and delivering that pass to Anaya. Christian Anaya. For the Huskies
Ball
score.
the extra point, and it is good, and it is now 7-0 for the Huskies. And this is exactly what we talked about earlier. Nick Arbor needing to air out the ball if they were going to have any chance of being successful here in this game. As the Huskies are up 7-0 as they're about to kick it off to Arborview with that double wing offense, which for those who don't know, basically they are just running the ball the entire time. And running the ball, did they ever? Last week, the Arborview Aggies were able to pick up over 300 yards of offense through the air. As Colin Fuller gets set to kick it off to the Aggies as they get their opening possession here in this game tonight. About over almost 400 fans in attendance, most of them Huskies, although there were a couple of Aggies that made the trek all the way from Las Vegas. It is hot. It is about 95 degrees. It is very dry as the sun is setting here in Chandler, Arizona, and the Huskies kick it off, and it's kicked off, and it's going to be picked up by number 37 as he goes to return it, and he gets brought down. Brought down by Chris Trojan at about the 32-yard line, as Kyle Holmes and the offense bring it out now, and this is a big test for the Huskies. They were very impressive last week with their defense, but they have a big test here as Arborview is going to be running the ball a lot, especially from senior running back Daniel Mitchell, who picked up 203 yards on the ground and 2 scores as they line up with a double wing. No one outside on the wide receivers. In motion, Mitchell in motion. He's going to hand it off. And he fumbled the ball, and it appears that the Huskies have picked it up. We'll get the official wording in a second, as the ball was definitely dropped. And it is Hamilton ball. So it took only one drive, and the Huskies already have gotten their first turnover of the game. Big play and a disastrous start for the Arborview Aggies. This is not what they had drawn up, as their near-perfect offense was ruined on the first play. Alyssa, what do you have to say about the defense? I mean, that's such a big confidence booster.
That is a great job by the Hamilton defense. Gives the team lots of momentum to continue to put up touchdowns and get that score higher.
First and 10, ball on the 32-yard line for Arborview, as Arbor hands it off to Armenta, and Armenta goes nowhere. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, and the Huskies will slow it down here after a big momentum shift early on in the game. They get the ball right back.
Keep an eye on Gabe, who had 2 total touchdowns last week.
He also picked up 83 yards on the ground, including a big 53-yard run to put the Huskies in territory for a touchdown that he also finished himself. There, 3 out. Motion on the line, and there's a flag. And I believe it is going to be on the dead ball foul on the Arborview Aggies, so it'll be 2nd down and 6 on the 28-yard line here with 9:55 to go here in the first quarter. Huskies up 7-0. They just recovered a fumble on the very first play of offense by the Arborview Aggies. Here, 1 on the left, 2 on the right for receivers in the backfield. Arbor hands it off, and he hands it off to It's off to Gabe Armenta, and he went nowhere. He went backwards, and it'll be third and very long here as the Huskies look to pick up the first down deep in Arborview territory. And the Aggies only yielded 51 yards on the ground last week, so you can expect a very tough defense on the ground. Here we have third down and 12 on the 34-yard line. 2 on the top, 2 at the bottom. Anaya in motion. Arve back to pass. Looks left. Ducks one. He's going deep. Double coverage, and it is caught! Touchdown, Huskies! Unbelievable catch. And that one is, I believe it is Anaya again, as he goes 34 yards for the score. And the Hamilton Huskies, you couldn't have started it any other way here in the first quarter, as 2 deep passes by Hervé have been completed and picked up by Christian Anaya, and the Huskies are now up 13-0, 14 depending on if Fuller can hit this extra point.
Great job
Back
by
to
Anaya.
snap, and the extra point is good, and the Huskies are up 14-0 with just under 9 minutes to go here in the first quarter, and Nick Arve has shown up to play tonight, huh, Alyssa?
Yes, and especially in Anaya, who was able to get past double coverage and achieve that second touchdown of the game.
Anaya definitely has been all over the field. He picked up a 56-yard grab and a 32-yard grab. And the Huskies have gone 2 for 2 with possession here. And let's see if the Arborview Aggies can respond here, as they had a disastrous first possession when they fumbled the ball on their own 33-yard line, picked up by Hamilton, and they were able to capitalize again. Here as the Arborview Aggies back to receive the ball. Colin Fuller looking to kick it off back to Arborview and see if Arborview can once again have a better luck on offense. The ball is kicked, and it is bouncing around the 2-yard line, picked it up by Arborview, and he runs to the left. Cuts off one, and he will get stuffed on the 8-yard line. And Hamilton is just doing everything right here early in this one. It'll be first and 10 at around the 8-yard line for the Arborview Aggies as they get set to continue or begin their second drive of the game. We kept harping on the fact that Nick Arve has needed to be big, and boy has he ever, Alyssa, here in the first quarter. 2 touchdown passes.
He's been outstanding, especially with his first 2 games, and he's showing today that he's just as good as he's been.
First and 10, he hands it off, and he picks up about 5 on the play as the Hamilton defense was ready for the run there. As it'll be second down and 5 or 6 here in the first quarter. Arborview was in a nail-biter last week as they were able to score with 16 seconds left in the game. Darius Williams, running back, was able to punch it in from 2 yards as the Arborview Aggies escaped the American folks, cavemen, back in Las Vegas, and they had a quick turnaround. Fate came all the way to Chandler to face on the Huskies, as with 7:52 left here in the first quarter. It is 3rd and 5 on the 14-yard line as Arborview is on their second possession of the game. Their first one was a fumble recovered by the Huskies, which in turn was a 32-yard touchdown grab by Christian Anaya from Nick Arve. 3rd and 2 now on the 17-yard line. Here, double wing offense. Hands it off. And it'll be the first down, maybe. Picks up about 2 or 3. And it appears that it will be a first down as he gets just enough. As the tackle was made by Jeremiah Trojan, the linebacker and one of the captains for the Huskies. There's Arborview, picks up 3 yards with 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 14-0 Hamilton. Very quick start, picked up 14 points on 2 quick possessions as we have 1st and 10. In motion is Daniel Mitchell. Fakes it, and he's going to pick up about 3 on the play. And this Hamilton defense has not yielded a lot here so far in the first quarter. Alyssa, talk about the preparations that the Huskies had to make. Obviously, noticing that Arborview was able to pick up at over 360 yards of offense on the ground. Do you think that's what they really focused on this week, or what are your thoughts?
I believe that was one of the main things they focused on this week, especially with Arborview being able to win last week, being down 0-21.
Motion, and there will be a flag on the play, as we'll get the call in just a second. I believe it's going to be on. It's going to be on Hamilton, and it'll be offsides on the Huskies as we get resuming play here. 2nd and 3 from the 27-yard line. Here's 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Arborview with their 2nd possession of the game. Here, they line up. Daniel Mitchell in motion. He gets the toss, and he's trying to get through, but he gets stuffed by the line, and it is going to be very close. It's going to be 3rd down. He picks up about no gain on the play, so it'll be 3rd and 3. This will be 3rd and 3 from the 27-yard line with 5.5 to go. This will be a big 3rd down play for the Arborview Aggies as they try and rebound from the tough start they've had here to start this one. In motion, and it's going to be handoff, and it's going to be a first down as he busts right through the defense. And that was Darius Williams was able to bust through the defensive line and pick up the first down with 5:15 to go here in the first quarter. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line as the Aggies have now slowed down the pace and are just able to move up the field. They haven't really been in a whole lot of trouble this drive as they've had 3rd down and very manageable so far. Once again, they line up in the double wing formation. Kyle Holmes line up, and he's going to hand it off to Daniel Mitchell as he gets a couple blocks, and he's going to pick up some yards, and he gets pushed out of bounds at about the 45-yard line, and that will be a first down for the Aggies. Daniel Mitchell, one of the key players in the comeback victory last week for the Aggies, as he was able to pick up 203 yards on the ground. On 18 carries, he picked up 2 scores as well, a 52-yard touchdown and a 7-yard touchdown, as he was a big help for the Aggies last week. Here, so it will be 2nd down and 1 as he was pushed out at about the 42-yard line. Very manageable for the Aggies as they try and move up the field here with 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 14-0 as he hands it off up the middle and fumble, and I believe it is going to be picked up by the Aggies. And it'll be 3rd down and it'll be 3rd down and about inches to go. I'd say about 6 inches to the first down marker as the Aggies have just been running the ball. They have not thrown a single pass yet here. Kyle Holmes has just been handing it off to various running backs, Daniel Mitchell and Kyrie Scholes. and Darius Williams have been getting majority of the touches here in the first quarter. 3rd and 1, he hands it off, and he pushes through the line, and he is going to get the first down as he just managed to get through the Hamilton defense. And Arborview will continue their drive here with 3:18 to go here in the first quarter. They are just trugging on through, and I mean, Alyssa, we could have expected this. We knew that they were just going to be running the ball. That is what their offense has been about this season.
Yes, Connor, especially with Daniel's performance last week. That was very much expected for the Hamilton defense.
As we get a whistle here with 3:04 to go, and we'll have a play clock reset here with a new rule this year for the play clock. As we have 1st and 10 on the 45-yard line for Arborview, and he jumped. No call. He hands it off, and he's going to pick up about 5 on the play. And he's going to be picked up right at the 50-yard line here, as Arborview's drive has lasted around 4 minutes so far here in the first quarter. Huskies' offense has been stuck on the sidelines ever since they scored their 2nd touchdown of the game. A 32-yard pass from Nick Arve to Christian Anaya, his 2nd reception of the game. As we have 2nd and 5 here on midfield. In motion, hands it off to Mitchell. Mitchell busts through, and he's going to get right on the line. And it'll be a judgment call here. And I believe the Aggies have picked up a first down here as they continue their drive once again. Ground and pound, that is the whole style for Arborview. We have seen that last week. We are seeing it this week as well. And they are just eating a lot of the play clock as we are down to under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And we have a flag on the play as he was able to pick up about 5. That was Daniel Mitchell, senior running back. And we'll get the call here in just a second from our official. And it'll be offsides on the Hamilton Huskies, so it'll be 1st and 5 from the 40-yard line. Here, 1:43 to go. 1st and 5 from the 40 as Arborview continues their long drive of ground and pound, the double wing offense. Mitchell in motion once again. They hand it off, and he picks up about 3 on the play. Hamilton defense has stood strong here. They've not allowed too much. No big plays as of yet. The longest run so far has been about 5 or 6 yards. That was earlier on in the drive. Here as we have 2nd and 3 from the 38-yard line. And this is going to be a big test for the Huskies as they are going to have to endure long drives. We're already seeing it here in the first quarter as we get under a minute to go. And he gets to the line here on 2nd down. Daniel Mitchell up the right side, and it'll be 3rd down and about maybe 1 or 2 yards here with 40 seconds to go. Here on the Hamilton 38-yard line, so here as they line up quickly with 20 seconds to go. You can imagine that this is going to be 1 or 2 plays left of the first quarter. As the Aggies line up, they hand it off to Darius Williams, and Williams is able to pick up the first down, it looks like, as about 6 seconds to go on the clock. This will most likely be the last play of the quarter. Hamilton Huskies have not seen the ball since about the 10.5-minute mark of the first quarter. And that will do it for the first quarter as the clock runs down. 14-0 Hamilton over Arborview. 2 touchdown throws by Nick Arve. 56 and 32 yards, both to Christian Anaya, as we get set to conclude the first quarter. It is 14-0. Oh, they can? Okay, I will be sure to mention that.
Sorry about the technical difficulties.
Apologize for the technical difficulty, folks. We are having a bit of issues with our equipment, so you can only hear us via the audio. We are looking to get that back up and for you to see the game very shortly. As we get set to start the second quarter, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Aggies on the 34-yard line, and they have just controlled the ball. They've ever since the Huskies scored their second touchdown, they have not allowed the Huskies to touch the ball again. And you can imagine that the Hamilton defense is starting to get a little bit tired as they've been out there for over 10 minutes now. And they will look to continue the drive here. Alyssa, what have you liked so far about the Hamilton defense having to preserve through a very long drive?
I like that they've kept their strides, and they've continued to show why they've been such a great defense these past 2 games, especially with that first fumble they forced in the beginning of the game.
So we get set to our second quarter here as they line up on the 34-yard line, 1st and 10. Double wing offense still in motion. Hands it off to number 11, Jaden Jackson with the carry, and he picks up about 2 yards on the play. And it'll be 2nd down, and Hamilton has just not allowed anything, really. They've allowed no less than 6 yards of rushing. And, you know, once again, you expected this to be the case with Arbor and their double wing offense of just running the ball the entire time. Last week, Kyle Holmes, the sophomore quarterback for the Aggies, only threw 11 passes for 74 yards. As we line up here, 2nd and 9 on the 33-yard line, 11:22 to go here in the second quarter. And a pitch back to Jaden Jackson. Jackson gets a cut. He cuts, and he's going to pick up the 1st down on about the 22-yard line. So he picks up 11 on the play, and it'll be first down for the Aggies. And they have just moved up the field with no real resistance. They faced a couple of 3rd downs, but they were 3rd and very manageable. As once again, we thank you for tuning in to AZ Preps 365 Hamilton High Sports Media. I'm Connor Manning, along with Alyssa Esquivel, our color commentator. Here as we get set, 1st and 10 on the 23-yard line. And their flag on the play. And it'll be on the, appears to be on the Hamilton Huskies for offside, so it'll be 1st and 5 on the 18. And Alyssa, penalties were a big problem for Hamilton last week. 11 penalties for 111 yards, and you can already see it start to take form here. That is their 3rd offside of the drive alone. And the Huskies have got to cut that down if they're going to be successful here.
I agree with you, Connor.
Here's they hand it off to Daniel Mitchell. He's going to pick up about 5 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd down and very manageable. Daniel Mitchell with the carry. Their drive of over 12 minutes. That is a full quarter's length of Arbor View running the ball. As we get set for a 2nd down and 2 on the 15-yard line. Still in wing formation. So the line up. Jaden Jackson with the carry. He is going to get stuffed, and he's going to go nowhere, and it's going to be 3rd down and 2. Big stop by Jeremiah Trojan, the UCLA commit. And here it'll be 3rd down. I'm sorry. I don't know. 3rd down and 2 after no gain on the play from Jaden Jackson. The wide receiver for the Arborview Huskies with 9 minutes to go exactly here in the second quarter. 3rd down and 2 from the 15. As he hands it off, and Darius Williams with the carry, and he gets stuffed on the line, and it will be 4th down. Big stop by the Hamilton Huskies, and you've got to wonder, on the 15-yard line, Alyssa, what do you think they're going to do? Are they going to kick the field goal, or are they going to go for it?
I think if you're the Aggies, you go for it, especially with Hamilton up 14-0 late in the second quarter.
They're 4th down, and it appears that the Aggies are indeed going to go for it. This is their first 4th down of the drive, and 4th and 2 here as the Huskies look to shut them down after a very long drive of about 14 minutes, and he's going to get stopped. Oh, and he might have got it after a secondary effort, but we'll see where the ref has determined the stoppage of motion. It appears that he is going to be short of the line. And I do not believe that the Arborview Aggies have gotten the ball as we get an official timeout here as they're going to judge the spot of the ball. Last couple of plays, the Hamilton defense has been on lockdown, not allowing much. After the 1st and 5, they have allowed 3 runs on 3 different plays. And we will determine here if the Aggies will continue their drive or not with 8:04 to go here in the second quarter. 14-0 Hamilton. And it looks like it is going to be short, and the Huskies will take over on possession. So a very long drive results in nothing for the Aggies, and that is not what they wanted here, as Nick Arbor and crew will take over. And Alyssa, that's a bit of a relief, as the Huskies defense was on the field for an extended period of time, but they were able to pick up the stop.
It was a great job by the defense for keeping the pace and continue to stay strong despite playing over 12 minutes of football.
As we pick it up here, 1st and 10 on the 14-yard line, 8:04 to go. In motion, Gabe Armenta. 2 on the left, 2 on the right. Arbor gets the snap. He's going to look, and he gets pressure right away, and he throws it. And it's going to be incomplete as he threw a quick pass to Caden Hattendorf, but came off of his shin, and it hit the ground. It'll be 2nd and 10. Arbor was rushed right there. He was hurried, and he had to just give it off, and I don't think Hattendorf was ready for the pass there. 2nd down and 10 on the 14-yard line, 7:58 to go here in the second quarter. Huskies still up 14-0 with their 3rd possession of the game. Armenta in motion to the left of Arbor. Arbor back to snap. Throws it off to Brennan Rice, his first reception of the game. And there's a flag. I believe it's going to be a late hit. It's going to be a late hit on Ricky Davis Jr. for the Aggies. We will check in a second as Rice was able to pick up about 4 or 5 on the play, as we'll get the call from the official in a second. And it's going to be roughing the passer on Arborview, so that'll be a 15-yard penalty and a 1st down for the Huskies, and that is not what you wanted if you are an Arborview fan. There. Excuse me, I apologize. It is Gavin Goulet who is back at quarterback for the Huskies, as he went 1 for 3 for 31 yards last week in the win against Highland. As he goes left, he's going to look for Rice, and it is incomplete. And that is the 2nd time now Rice had it in his grasp, but he was unable to grab it, as he was defended by Zaire Ham, who is one of our players to watch for the Arborview defense. Last week, he was all over the field. He had 6 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 interception in the win for the Aggies. As we have 2nd and 10 here from the 29-yard line, 7:44 to go. Goulet back, Armenta to his left. Pierce Pierre Taylor going motion to the right. Hands it off to Goulet, and he's going to take it for himself, and he's going to get tackled, and he's going to get a first down. He was tackled by Ricky Jones and Anthony Jones, and it'll be first down. Gavin Goulet rushes up the middle for 11 yards with 7:30 to go here in the second quarter. And Alyssa, that was a smart play by Goulet.
Great job by Goulet by taking what the defense gave him and going up the middle to get the first down for the Huskies.
Indeed. As we line up 1st and 10, 7:17 to go here in the first quarter. Anaya in motion. Hands it off to Goulet. He hands it off, and it is picked up by Anaya, and and it is going to be a first down as he picks up 11 on the play. Anaya has been all over the field. He has the 2 touchdown grabs and the 11-yard reception right there. And Alyssa, in these type of games, you need everyone to be ready and to show up.
I agree with you, Connor. Especially, I like how Anaya is stepping up big for the Hamilton offense.
Here, first down, 6 minutes to go. Clock running. Goulet in motion. 3 lined up, back-to-back from each other on the right. Rice on the left by himself. Armenta in the backfield as he's motioned to the left of Goulet. And we have a timeout as the Huskies did not like what they had out there, and they will take a minute to think it over here with 6:29 to go here in the second quarter. Huskies still up 14-0, and they have about a 1.5-minute possession so far as they were able to stuff the Aggies late, deep in their own territory, take over the ball, and then what certainly helped was the pass interference call on Anthony Jones of the Aggies, which continued the drive for the Huskies.
Not the way you want to start if you're the Aggies today.
Exactly. They first possession of the game, they fumbled the ball on their first play nonetheless, which led to a Hamilton touchdown. And then after a 12-minute drive, which extended into the second quarter, unable to pick up any points at all. That is not what you wanted if you're an Aggie, especially in this type of environment against a good Hamilton defense. As you saw last week, they were just all over the place, especially on the defensive line, not allowing much for the Highland Hawks and not allowing much for the Arborview Aggies as we get set here for first down and 10 on the Arborview 49 with 6:29 to go here in the first quarter. Goulet still out there for the Huskies at quarterback. Armenta behind him, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. Pierre Taylor in motion. Goulet, he's going to take it himself, and he's going to pick up the first down as he gets hit hard by Devin Ramirez. And it is going to be second down and about 1, maybe less, as Goulet takes it for himself again. And that was a smart read. Guy went straight to the Armenta, and he just took it for himself and had open field.
Another great carry by Gabe by looking at what the defense gave him and going up the middle to get close to the first down for the Huskies.
5:53 to go here in the second quarter. 2nd and 1 from the 40. Goulet back to pass, looks right, and he's going to go deep. He's going to look for Hattendorf, and that was just a little too far. And it'll be an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd and 1. And if you're Mike Zadebski, you are wondering what you are going to go. Are you going to go for the first down, or are you going to try and go for another home run?
I think you go for the first down. Continue to keep the clock running, especially with the 14-0 lead for the Huskies.
Can imagine what Andy Litton, the offensive coordinator, is conjuring up for the Huskies offense. 3rd and 1. Armenta behind Goulet, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. Gets the handoff to Armenta, and he's not going to go anywhere. He's going to lose a couple of yards, and it'll be 4th down. The Aggies defense sniffed that one out immediately and did not allow anything for Gabe Armenta. Armenta had a big week last week, 83 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. And decision here for the Huskies now is they have a 4th and 3. Got to wonder, it'll be about a 59-yard field goal, so Nick Arve back out for the quarterback, or for the Huskies at quarterback, and they are going to go for it. Two on the right, one on the left. Armenta in motion. He's going to join the two wide receivers on the left. He gets it back to pass, and he's going to punt it. And he's going to get it at about the 4-yard line. So smart play by the Huskies to just get it down deep into Arborview territory. And the Aggies will get the ball back with 4:51. And that's a sigh of relief if you're the Aggies, as you get stopped and then you're able to create a stop on your own on defense.
Great job. Great kick by Nick Arve in getting the ball to bounce deep into Hamilton territory. Arve.
It's all right, Alyssa.
Great job pinning him back in their own end zone by Nick Arve, quarterback who does play quarterback for the Hamilton Huskies.
1st and 10 here for the Aggies. Kyle Holmes still in quarterback in the double wing formation. Mitchell in motion. He's going to get the ball, and he's going to go nowhere. And that Huskies defensive line, once again, very dominant. They are just not allowing anything for Mitchell and the Aggies offense. It'll be 2nd down and 9 on the 5-yard line for the Aggies. And they are deep pinned in their own territory, as we have 4 minutes and 22 seconds to go here in the half. Huskies up 14-0. 2 quick touchdown grabs by Anai, and nothing else really since then. A long 12-minute drive by the Aggies, which resulted in nothing. And we have another fumble, and I believe this one might be picked up by the Huskies. Players are motioning, and it will be picked up by the Huskies. Another disastrous play picked up by Pierre Taylor. And the Huskies will have it 1st and goal on the 5-yard line. If you are an Aggie, this is a nightmare here in the first half. Unbelievable.
2 turnovers for the Hamilton defense, doing a great job at stopping the Aggies offense from getting any points on the board. Now the Hamilton offense gets the ball back in the end zone, hoping to get another touchdown to continue their lead, up 14-0 with 4 minutes in the second quarter.
Arve back at quarterback. Armenta behind him. He's going to hand it off to Armenta. Armenta gets a tackle, and he's going to score. Gabe Armenta walked right into the end zone untouched, and the Huskies score again, and they capitalize on the disastrous turnover deep in Arborview territory, and Hamilton will make it 20-0, 21 pending on the extra point. But if you are a Husky, you are not celebrating too much, because the Arborview Aggies were down 21-0 last week to American Folk, and they were able to come back. So don't celebrate just yet, as we still have plenty of time to go here in this game, and it's going to be offsides on the Aggies. And we will see what the official call is here in a second. So and it looks like Colin Fuller's they're gonna decline it, and Colin Fuller's just gonna kick it away here as the Huskies look to extend their lead to 3 total scores. And the kick is up, and the kick is good, and the Hamilton Huskies are up 21-0. Second turnover of the game for the Arborview Aggies. And Hamilton was right there, and they did not waste any time. Gabe Armenta punching it in from 5 yards. And Hamilton will look to kick it off to Arborview here to continue for Arborview's 3rd possession. And once again, it is just not a good start for the Arborview Aggies. 2 turnovers on 3 possessions as they look to amend for their mistakes here. Colin Fuller about to kick it off from the 40-yard line with 3:57 to go here in the second quarter. And the Arborview Aggies, if they want to stay in this game, they need something right away, as the Huskies have not allowed anything on defense. An excited fan base here in the student section, which is filled up all the way to the top. Always great to see the Husky students come out and support the football team on this now turned beautiful evening here in Chandler, Arizona, as the Huskies look to kick it away. Colin Fuller from the 40, and he boots it, and it is going to be short. It is going to be picked up by Justin Hausner, and he gets to about the 24, 25-yard line, as the Aggies will pick up possession here in need of a touchdown.
If you're the Aggies here, Connor, what would you do in this situation?
I would just hold on to the ball. I mean, you've had 3 possessions. One of them was 12 minutes long, which resulted in nothing, and the other 2 were very quick turnovers. So if you're the Arborview Aggies, it just starts with holding on to the ball. First down and 10, 3:51 to go here in the second quarter. First and 10 from the 25-yard line. Aggies back out. They had a very short possession last time. And he hands it off, and it's going to go for about 1 or 2, and he gets dragged down. By Caleb Sokolovic. I apologize if I mispronounced that name. And they're going to say no gain here. Second down and 10 on the 25-yard line. Second down, 3:17 to go, 21-0 Hamilton. As we get set for second play in motion, Jane Jackson gets it. He's going to go up the left side, and he's going to pick up about 1 on the play as he goes out of bounds at about the 28-yard line, maybe the 29. We'll see what the official ruling here is in a second. But if you're Arborview, do you start passing? I mean, you've been moderately successful on the ground, but haven't been too successful. So, Alyssa, if you're the Aggies, do you start passing soon?
I think if you're the Aggies, you definitely start passing soon, especially if you want to get points on the board before the first half ends, with only 3 minutes left in the second quarter.
So we get a timeout here by the Huskies, their second of the half. With 3 minutes to go, they want to talk it over here. Big 3rd and 8 as they look to shut down the Aggies once again and prevent a super long drive like they had earlier on. But if you're Arborview, you don't sweat it too much, because while you are down 3 scores, you have been in this position before. It was just last week, and there's still lots of time left to go. But it'll be a long 3rd and 7 for the Aggies offense as they all come back to the field as we get set for the 3rd down play.
Haven't heard much from quarterback Kyle Holmes, who was the player of the week for the Aggies with the big win against American Fork. He was 7 of 12 for 82 yards in the score.
Here and there, it's spread formation. You could appear that this is going to look like a pass. So you alluded to it earlier, Alyssa, as Kyle Holmes looks for his first, and he's going to get sacked. And the Huskies sniff that one out from a mile away. And Alex Wheeler with the sack, and it'll be 4th down and about 12 on the play, and the Aggies are looking like they are going to punt it away.
Great job by the defense, letting the offense get back on the field with 2:56 left in the second quarter.
Fourth down and 12. Big play for the Aggies here as it is 4th and very long, but 2:56 to go. You're deep in your own territory. Alyssa, what would you do? Would you punt it away, or would you gamble and go for it down 3 scores?
If I were the Aggies, I would probably go for it, especially down 21-0 in the second half, in the first half.
And it looks like that's might what they do, but as you've seen in the past, the quarterbacks sometimes do, and Easton Jones, the punter, will punt it away as they're deep in their own territory. And 4th and 12, it would be very risky as the Huskies look to get it back. Back to receive for the Huskies is good punt. It's going to fall at about the 48-49 yard line. Back to receive it was Cole Martin, but he was unable to as it was just short, and he did not want to go up and receive the ball as the Huskies take over on the 47-yard line. Decent field position as Nick Orve and crew have been very successful so far. 4 possessions, and 3 scores. So obviously, it's exactly what you wanted if you're a Hamilton Husky. First down and 10, ball on the Hamilton 47. Arve back at quarterback. Zachary Lewis in motion to the left side. Spread formation, 3 on the left, 2 on the left. Arve looking down, and it's going to be caught by Zachary Lewis, and he gets wrapped up and tackled at about the 26-yard line. And he was tackled on the play by Kyrie Scholes, And Nick Orbe has just had his way throwing at least double-digit passes each play so far, and Hamilton's just been able to execute on everything so far. Here, clock going down to 2:25 to go as we almost hit 2 minutes to go. Arve sends Lewis in motion, 2 on the right, 3 on the left. Arve solo behind and he's going to step it up, he's going to take it, and he's going to rush. He's going to get the first down and step out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. And good play by Hervé, rushing up the right when he had nothing going for him there. Oh, they're going to give him just say he did not get the first down there. I apologize. 2nd and 1 from about the 17-yard line. As Arve with had Taylor in motion. He's going to get the first down and more. Rushing in is going to be Sebastian Dorman for the touchdown. With 2:03 to go, Sebastian Dorman, his first carry of the half, is a 17-yard score, and Hamilton adds to it here as they have just been all over the field. Sebastian Dorman with his first carry of the game, and it is a 17-yard grab, and the Huskies now have a 27-0 lead here in the first half. And Alyssa, what did you like about that play?
Tremendous job by the Hamilton offense. We're taking advantage of their great field position and capitalizing that drive with a touchdown.
And the kick is up, and the kick is good, and Colin Fuller is now 4 for 4 on extra points. And the Huskies are now up 28-0, and I'm going to be honest, I did not expect this here in the first half. As Colin Fuller looks to kick it away here with just over 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Huskies up 28-0, and Alyssa, I mean, everything that you would have wanted for a Husky, they're getting it here. Once again, that balanced attack of rushing, and passing, they have just been unstoppable here. And the defense, too, just have not allowed anything by this very, very good double wing.
Indeed, Connor, they've really had a great performance this first half. Hopefully they can continue and prevent the Aggies offense from getting any points on the board.
Indeed. And Fuller kicks it off, and it'll be very deep at about the 2-yard line. He's going to return it. Justin Hosner, and he gets about the 26-yard line. He was able to break through a Husky player there as Arborview looks to take over now, down 28-0, and you need something quick if you're Arborview.
I agree with you, Connor. If you're the Aggies and want to get some points on the board, you definitely need to start passing the ball. If you're the Aggies.
First and 10 on the Arborview 26 with 1:54 to go here in the first half. Arborview still back into double wing formation as they look to get a quick touchdown right before the half. They will be receiving the second half kickoff, handed off to Daniel Mitchell on the carry. Picks up about 1 on the play, 1.5, as the clock will run down. The Aggies have all 3 timeouts, so you can imagine that they might be using them as they get closer to the end zone for the Huskies. Here, second down and 9 with 1:30 to go here in this first half. Second and 9 on the 28-yard line. Aggies taking their time, letting the clock run down. 14 on the play clock as they line up. Here in double wing formation once again. Hamilton's defensive line has just been so dominant this game, not allowing any more than 5 yards per carry. And they just barely get it off, hand it off to Jaden Jackson up the left side, and once again he gets grabbed up, picks up about 1 or 2 on the play, and it'll be third down and about 5 or 6. Jeremiah Trojan, the senior linebacker, with the tackle, 47 seconds to go. And Arborview once again taking their time, down to 27 on the play clock. And gotta wonder if they're going to get one more play through before the end of the half and try and just get through it, refocus, and get ready for the second half.
With the double wing formation, there's not much passing, so they're not able to get the ball down the field.
Indeed, and especially with the defensive line being so dominant, just holding it up. And once again, they don't allow much. Maybe 3 on the play, maybe 4. It'll be fourth down and about 4, and that's going to take us to the end of the first half. The Hamilton Huskies up by 4 touchdowns, 28-0. And if you're a Husky, you are liking everything you've seen so far.
Indeed, Connor, especially both sides of the ball having an outstanding first half, not allowing the Aggies to get any points on the board. They completely shut them out.
Exactly, not allowing anything, as the Arborview Aggies will start the second half with possession. As the Huskies will kick it off, we will see you again for the second half. Thanks for tuning in to Hamilton Sports Media on AZ Preps 360, sorry. You're doing so much better. You're doing so much better. Yes, you are. So we get set here. 98 degrees here in Chandler, Arizona. It is very clear, and it is 10 seconds left here in the warm-up, you could say, in the halftime, as we get ready for Colin Fuller to kick it away from the 40-yard line. And Arbor View will look to start their road to a comeback, but it starts with just moving the ball downfield and not causing any of those turnovers that have plagued them in the first half. And for Hamilton, it's simple. Don't commit penalties and just keep doing what you're doing, because what they're doing right now is very impressive to say. I want to thank you all for tuning in here on Hamilton High Sports Media and AZ Sports 360 as Colin Fuller looks to boot it away here to start the second half. 2 men back to receive for the Aggies. Jaden Jackson and the ball is kicked off picked up by Kyrie Scholes as he picks to the 10, gets to about the 15, and there's a flag, and he's gonna stay down. He gets down to the 17, and we'll get a flag here as we are 8 seconds into the second half here, and we'll get the call in a second. We'll get the call in a second. We believe it is a block in the back. Not 100% sure. And we have a holding on the Hamilton Huskies. And so you don't see that very often. And they will start at about the 32-yard line, or 28-yard line, sorry. And it'll be first down and 10, 11:52 to go. As the Arborview Aggies have decent field position as they line up 2 on the left, 2 on the right, 1 in the back. Kyle Holmes, he's going to hand it off to Jackson, and he's going to go nowhere. He's going to pick up about 1 on the play, and it'll be second down here. And the Huskies right back at it, Alyssa.
Yes, indeed, Connor. Hamilton defense continuing to show how dominant their defensive line is.
Yes, indeed. Led by Jeremiah Trojan and Alex Weilert, excuse me. Second down and 9 on the 28-yard line, 11:14 to go. And he's going to fake the handoff, and it's going to get a flag on the play. It was Koa Carmichael, the junior quarterback, who faked it and took it to the right. And this one might be face mask. We'll find out who the culprit was in a second. And a face mask on the Huskies, so another first down. And like we said earlier, penalties cannot plague the Huskies, and we have already seen it. 2 10-plus yard penalties, and they are already at the 42-yard line. And this is exactly what you wanted if you were an Arborview Aggie to kick off the second half. 11:05 to go. And he's going to look for his first pass, and it is intercepted. Oh, incomplete. Sorry. As I apologize there. It looked like it was almost picked off by Lewis. So it'll be second 10 from the 42 with 11 exact to go here in the third quarter, excuse me. 20 on the play clock. 2 on the right, 2 on the left, 1 in the backfield for Carmichael. The lefty, he's going to fake it. He's going to go right, and he's going to go deep, and it is going to be incomplete. No flags on the play. It'll be third down and 10. He was looking for Trent Whalen on the play. Maybe he was looking for a pass interference. Did not get it. It'll be third down with 10:54 to go here in the third quarter. And Arborview, who had a pretty decent start to the drive. They got a couple of penalties that went their way. They moved up the field. They're at the 42, but those last two passes have just been incomplete, and big third down here. Here we go, third down. Hands it off to, and he's going to breaks free, and he's at the 30, he's at the 20, and he's going to get brought down at the 12-yard line. A big carry by DeAndre Washington. Picks up about 48 on the play. Big carry by Washington, and that is the first big play by the Aggies, and they are in the red zone for the second time now this game. And Arborview finally getting that big break that they've needed. And it'll be first down. Carmichael's still back at quarterback for the Aggies. And for Hamilton, you need to collect yourself and fix whatever happened. There was a bust in coverage. He's going to hand it off to Washington again, and there he picks up 3 or 4 on the play, and good defense by the Huskies defensive line. And with 3:31 to go, it'll be about 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7 on the 12-yard line, 2nd and 7, and running out the clock here with 23 seconds to go here on the play clock, and as they line up here, they're no longer in the double wing. They've lined up 2 on the left, 2 on the right, with DeAndre to the right of Carmichael. And obviously, you see the adjustments that Arborview's made after an unsuccessful first half. And Brennan Rice sniffed that one out and grabs Washington for a big loss in the backfield. They weren't going to fall for it there. And the offensive and defensive player, senior Brendan Rice, was able to catch Washington. And it'll be 3rd and 12. And big loss there. And Arborview cannot come away with a field goal. You need a touchdown.
I agree with you, Connor. If you want to get back into this game, you definitely need a touchdown on this this drive.
Air back, and Carmichael's going to take it, and he's going to get swallowed up, and it is going to be a 4th down. Picks up about -1, maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. I believe that was Sam Weingarten, the senior defensive end, with the stop, and it looks like Easton Jones is going to come out and kick the 3 points for the Aggies to get them on the board. It will look like a 34-yard field goal for Jones, the senior kicker.
Great job by the Hamilton defense, not allowing the Aggies to get a touchdown after that big, long run by Washington.
And it is a drive, and it is no good. And once again, the Aggies come up short. They get down to the 10-yard line. The Huskies cooperate, and they are able to stuff them. And once again, the Aggies are really in deep trouble now. This was a big drive for them. They picked up 2 big flags on the play and were able to move the ball down, but they just got unlucky once again. Low snap, and Jones was not able to get it high enough. 8:30 to go, first down. Arve and Dorman in the backfield. 2 on the left, 2 on the right. Taylor and Hattendorf on the left. Rice and on the left. Ball on the 20. First down, hands it off. And no chance for Dorman there, as he was shut right down by Xavier Alston, the defensive end, the 6'2" senior. And they lose about 3 or 4 on the play. And for the Huskies, just calm down. Not a good play there, but we'll see what happens here with 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
I think if you're the Aggies defense, you try to get the ball back to your offense if you want to keep up with the dominant Hamilton offense performance.
2nd and 13 on the 17. Arve looks left. Doesn't see anything. He's going to take it, and he's going to throw it deep. He's going to look for It's going to be tipped and incomplete. I believe that was... Christian Anai, who's had a big night, was unable to make the grab, and will be 3rd and long from the 17. Ricky Davis with the stop for the Aggies. And here, Hamilton, very successful first half. They scored on 4 of 5 possessions, and so far they've gone only backwards as we have 3rd and 13, 7:43 to go. Motions Lewis to the right, 3 on the right, 2 on the left. Arve, he's going to look, and he's going to run through it, and he's going to look for a wide open Lewis, and he's got the catch. He's at the 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. It's a foot race, and he's down to the 15-yard line. Big play by Zachary Lewis, who was wide open, and Nick Arve once again just making those big passes. And Alyssa, how can you stop Arve?
Great pass by Arve, and great job by Lewis, getting past the defender and using his speed to get close to the red zone.
We appear to have an injured player. That would be Ricky Davis Jr., the senior free safety. And sideline infraction on the Huskies. 1st and 10 on the 15-yard line. Here, big play to Zachary Lewis from Nick Arve. And once again, the Huskies are moving the ball quite well. Sebastian Dormon behind Arve. And Brady Shuck now in the game, the junior receiver. Him and Hattendorf on the right. Rice and Lewis on the left. Dormon in motion. Gets the snap. Looks the pass. Finds no one. He's going to take the ball. He's down to the 10. And he's going to run out of bounds. And it'll be about a 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4. With 7:12 to go. Arve. Smart play there, Alyssa.
Very smart play. I think if the offense, you continue to keep the ball in.
Again, just the awareness of Arve to see that he had no one open. He just took the ball, picked up 6, so he's actually on the 9-yard line. 2nd and 4, 7:12 to go. Dormon once again behind Arve. 2 on the right, 2 on the left. He's going to hand it off to Dormon. Fakes 1, fakes 2, and he's going to get down to the 3-yard line. Picks up 6, and that'll be a 1st and goal for the Huskies. With 7 minutes to go, Sebastian Dormon, who's already picked up a touchdown on the ground earlier in the 2nd quarter, picked up about 6 on the play there. It'll be 1st down and goal from the 3, and Alyssa, you can imagine it's going to go right back to Dormon.
I agree with you, Connor. I think if you're the Husky offense, get another touchdown to continue your dominant lead over the Aggies.
Brendan Maslin now added to the backfield with Dormon and Arve. 1 on the right, that'd be Hattendorf. Shuck and Rice on the left. 1st down and goal from the 3, 6:53 to go. Hands it off to Dormon, and he gets stuffed, and there's a flag on the play, maybe a late hit. And he goes nowhere, picks up maybe 1, and we'll check what the flag is here in a second. That was Dormon with his 3rd carry of the night. This one might be against. We got a personal foul on Arborview, so they'll get the 1st down. Half the distance to the goal, so we'll be on about the 1.5-yard line with 6:48 to go here in the 3rd quarter. And a fresh set of downs for the Huskies.
Not what you want if you're the Aggies defense trying to continue to stay in this ball game.
Exactly. Brendan Maslin lined up in the tight end position with Dormon in the backfield, Rice and Shuck on the left, Hattendorf on the right. And you can imagine they're going to hand it right back to Dormon on the 1. Oh, and a fumble. And Arve gets right on top of it. And Arve had that problem last week. In fact, fumbled the ball and lost it. But this year he picks it up. He loses about 2 or 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and goal with 6:17 to go. And wasn't a disastrous play, but it's not exactly what you wanted on a 1st and goal.
No, not what you wanted. But hopefully the offense can forget about that play and continue to try to get that touchdown to continue their dominant lead over the Aggies.
We will see here. 2nd and goal with just under 6 minutes to go. Arve right under center. He's going to hand it off to Dermont, and he's going to power his way into the end zone, and it's going to be a touchdown. Second of the night for Dermont. He powers it in from about 3 yards, and the Huskies build on that lead. They are now up 34-0, and they are just unstoppable right now.
Completely unstoppable, Connor. Very impressed with Dick's performance tonight and the rest of the Hamilton offense.
Hamilton's offense has just been unstoppable so far, like you said, and Fuller will look to pad the extra point, make it 35-0. And hold is good, and kick is good, and it is now 35-0. Fuller with the extra point. He is now 5 for 5 on the day, and Hamilton adds to that already impressive lead. And Arborview is just digging themselves a deeper hole. And you can imagine it might be a bit of a hangover from last week's thriller when Darius Williams punched it in from 2 yards to carry the Aggies to a 35-34 victory. As Huskies set to kick it off from the 40. Alyssa, what did you like about that last drive?
I like the way the offense stood tall and ended the drive with the touchdown to Dorman and was able to continue their dominant lead.
And obviously it's a very bright sight to see a team that struggled on offense and defense last year, going 3-7 and not making the playoffs for the first time in their school history. Obviously, it's a little bit different this year as the Huskies are up 35-0, and besides the big 48-yarder by DeAndre Washington earlier on, they have not allowed much. As Fuller looks to boot it away once again, and Arborview picks up with their 6th possession, and that is going to be picked up at the 2-yard line. Picked up, and he's going to get out at about the 21-yard line. Cameron Chapman with the return, and Arborview picks up possession again.
Arborview absolutely needs points on the board in order to stop digging themselves into an even bigger hole than they already are.
You're exactly right, Alyssa. Koa Carmichael, the junior, back out for the Aggies. They start at their own 20-yard line with 5:46 to go here in the third quarter. And the Aggies look to get something out of this drive as they have not really been too successful so far tonight. There's still lots of game time left. There's about just under 18 minutes of game clock left, so plenty of time for Arborview to put something together here in the third quarter. One on the left, one on the right. Back to Carmichael, hands it off to DeAndre Washington, gets through the defensive line and picks up about 6 on the play. It'll be second down, and Sam Weigarten with the tackle. And it'll be second down with 5.5 to go here in the third quarter. Second and 6 here, 5:15 to go on the 24-yard line. DeAndre Washington in the back. We've got one on the right, one on the top, one on the bottom. And hands it off to DeAndre Washington, and he is going to go nowhere. And he might have lost yardage on that play. He looks like he lost about 1.
Defensive line doing a tremendous job at stopping the Aggies from getting any yards on that play.
You're absolutely right, Alyssa. Looks like it'd be third down and 7. And Hamilton, they've not allowed anything. They've been really strong on the line, and for a team that's been mostly they've run the ball most times this game, they have not allowed too much for the Aggies as we get set here. Third down and 6 on the 24 with 4:18 to go. He's going to hand it off to Washington again. Washington picks up about 2 or 3, and he's going to get stopped by that defensive line. And you've heard it a lot tonight. It'll be fourth down and about 4. And I do not believe that the Aggies are not going to punt it away, it doesn't look like. They keep Easton Jones on the sideline, and the Aggies Oh, wait, maybe they will punt it away here. He decided that rather not risk it here. Down by 5 touchdowns with 3 minutes to go. And Alyssa, one thing you notice, these quarters are going by fast.
Yes, definitely, Connor. It's already 3:39 in the third quarter, and the Huskies are still up 35-zip.
Definitely contributing to the fact that Arborview has been running the ball a lot, which if you run the ball, time keeps running. And we have an unsportsmanlike conduct on Arborview, so they're going to go back 15 yards. Do not believe seeing what exactly it was, but they will be back on their own 14-yard line. Brennan Rice back to receive on the 45-yard line.
Aggies not really doing that double wing offense that they were doing in the first half, trying to throw the ball more in order to stop digging themselves into a deeper hole.
Easton Jones back in his own end zone, here to punch it away with 3:22 to go here in the third quarter. And he gets the snap, and he's going to boot it away, a short punt, high up in the air. Brennan Rice calls for the fair catch, and he gets it about the 44-yard line, and it'll be a first down for the Huskies, and let's see if they can continue what has been a very successful game on offense for Nick Arve, Sebastian Jorman, and crew. Arve has Arve has 3 touchdowns through the air. Dorman has patched it up on the ground, following up with 2. With 3:11 to go here in the third quarter, 1st and 10 from the 45. Arve and Armenta in the backfield. Anaya and Hattendorf on the right. Rice and Lewis on the left. And he's going to hand it off to Anaya on the jet sweep, and he does not get back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be second down and about 11, second down and 10. Just 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Here's second down. Arve and Armenta in the backfield. 2 on the left, 2 on the right. Arve gets a snap. He looks right. He's going to hand it off to Armenta. Armenta gets stopped, and he goes even further back behind the line. It's going to be third down and about 13 on the play. Here is a quick toss to Armenta. Did not go anywhere.
The Husky offense definitely needs to start passing the ball down the field and not do as much screens as they've been doing.
Third down and 13 here on the 48-yard line. And Alyssa, you said it right. They need to get the ball downfield instead of going backwards. Here Arve gets it. Looks left, looks right. Looks back left. And he's going to throw it, and he's going to get sacked. And Arborview's Aggies defense hold up big there. That was Anthony Jones, contributed to the sack, and the Huskies will punt the ball away.
Aggies secondary did a terrific job at holding the Hamilton wide receivers in check and not allowing them to pass the ball downfield and get big plays.
Exactly right, and we look to have a timeout, and Colin Fowler, the kicker, is going to punt it away. Instead of the kicker, Brady Kofall. He was replaced there. He's the normal punter. Colin Fuller, who is the place kicker, will be punting it away from his own 34. And with 1:18 to go, Hamilton will look to get it deep in Arborview territory and continue that defense, which has been all over Arborview so far here in this game. Gets the snap, low snap, and he's going to punt it. High, short kick. It's going to fall at about the 26-yard line, 25-yard line, and it's going to be first down and 10 for the Aggies. And Alyssa, under a minute to go, they've got to get something quick.
Definitely, if you want to stay in this ball game, the Aggies definitely need to get a touchdown on this drive.
You are exactly right there. First and 10 on the 25 after the punt by by Fuller. Excuse me about that. 1st and 10. Carmichael still behind taking the snaps. They're back in that double wing formation with 59 seconds to go. In motion, hands it off to number 46, and he fights off a tackle. He's gonna get a 1st down. He's gonna get tackled by a couple Huskies.
Nice run by the Aggies running back, number 46, for breaking on the outside and getting a big run for the Aggies.
And that was Kina Kapu rolled on. Apologize if I mispronounced the name there. He fights off the initial tackle, which would have been for a loss, and picks up about 15 on the play. And it'll be 1st and 10 with the 40 with 35 to go, back in that double wing formation.
Aggies are back at it again, doing their double wing offense.
Hands it off, and that picks up maybe a gain. Probably not, with 25 to go, and that will... They do not have to run another play in the 3rd quarter with 15 seconds to go, 31 on the play clock. And Sean Davey now into the game for the Husky defense. And that'll do it for the 3rd quarter, as the Arborview Aggies ran out the clock, and the Hamilton Huskies have just 12 more minutes until they pull off a massive win here, up 35-0.
Hopefully the defense can continue to keep shutting out the Aggies offense. Sorry.
35-0. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Aggies on their own 45-yard line. 2nd and 5.
Oh, there's what?
Oh, there was a offsides on the play. That's why it is 2nd and 5. So you said to start the 4th quarter. Double wing formation. Carmichael back at QB. Gets the snap and fake off. Hands it off. He's going to get some room. And he's going to break free. And it is going to be tackled down at about the 31-yard line. That was Darius Brown on the play, the junior. And another big play for the Arborview Aggies. They haven't had a lot of those, but they get a big one there. Pick up about 20 on the play.
Another big run by the Aggies as Darius Brown broke out on the outside and got a big play for the Aggies offense that they desperately needed.
1st and 10 on the 34 here with 11:40 to go. And double wing formation, clock rolling. He's going to hand it back off. Oh, and he fumbles the ball. And I believe he picks it right back up, and he still picks up about 3 yards on the play. That was Brown again who had the fumble. And Arborview's now fumbled the ball 3 times this evening. They were able to pick it up there, but once again, the woes continue.
In a double wing offense, there's definitely a much higher chance at fumbling the ball as you're running it a lot more often than you are passing the ball and handing the ball off a lot.
Here's 2nd and about 7 or 8. 2nd and 7 here With 11 minutes to go here. Double wing formation one again. And Carmichael's going to take it himself. Picks up about 5 on the play. 4 or 5. And it'll be third down for the Aggies. Carmichael taking it himself for only the 4th time this evening. And Weingarten back in the game. Coming off the field was Ben Jostis, the junior defensive tackle, with 10:24 to go here in the 4th quarter. Hit third down and 3 from the 27. Very manageable for the Aggies. Talking. Brown in motion. He's going to go for a pass, and it is going to be incomplete. Very well defensive play in the secondary, and it'll be 4th down, and Carmichael's down. We have a flag. I believe it is for roughing the passer. And another costly turnover, and it'll be first down for the Aggies.
Quarterback showed some great toughness by getting back up after that brutal hit by the Hamilton defense. Still got the pass off. So it'll be first down inside the 20 on the 14-yard line for Arbor View with 10 minutes to go. Trent Whalen, the emergency quarterback after Kyle Combs went down earlier. First down and 10 from the 14. 10 minutes to go. He's going to pitch it off to Roldan, and he picks up about 5 on the play. 4 or 5, and it'll be second down and manageable with 9 minutes to go. Huskies being really stingy on defense, not giving up a lot of yards to the Aggies offense.
You're absolutely right there. 2nd and 5 inside the 10. Big grit moment for the Huskies defense. They have not had a whole lot of challenges tonight. Darius Brown in motion. They're going to hand it off, and it'll be about a pickup of 1 or 2, and it'll be third down. And Huskies, once again, that defensive line holding strong.
Once again, the defensive line of the Hamilton completely stuffed the running back of the Aggies.
Third down and very manageable. Seen the Aggies in this position a lot tonight. On the 7-yard line, 3rd and 3 with 8:50 to go here in the 4th quarter. Big moment for the Aggies trying to get their first score. He's going to hand it off to DeAndre Washington, and he is going to score. No, wait, he's going to be down at about the 2. It'll be first down and goal. That was Washington who bullied his way down to the 2, and the Aggies are at first and goal for the first time tonight.
Hamilton defense trying to continue to stay strong and keep the game from being scoreless.
Aggies pressing hard here. First down and goal from the 2-yard line. Back in that double wing formation, looking to punch it in for their first score of the night. Hands it off to Washington up the left side, gets a couple of tackles, and he is going to be scored. He's going to score on the play. Washington from 2 yards, and the Aggies are on the board for the first time tonight with 8:34 to go here in the 4th quarter. That was a very successful play. They also were able to capitalize on a couple of bad penalties by the Huskies, and they scored the first time tonight.
The Aggies offense ran the counter, were able to run on the left side to punch in the touchdown, their first touchdown of the game.
Easton Jones for the extra point here. Looking to make it 35-7 here with 8:34 in the 4th quarter. And Arborview, who did not have a lot going for them, was able to pick up that, and that's always a positive. Extra point is good for Easton Jones, and it is now 35-7 with still 8:34 to go.
Exactly what the Aggies needed on offense, especially after going in the red zone on one of their possessions and not getting any points on the board.
exactly right. As Easton Jones looks to boot it away back to the Huskies, you've got to imagine, not what you wanted that last possession. They only went backwards, but we'll see how they adjust here. Still up 4 scores with 8:34, and what you've got to start wondering is, do they start killing the clock or do they try and go for another score?
I think if you're the Hamilton offense, you continue to build your lead and make the Aggies continue to fight to get closer to the score.
You've got to remember, it was 4th down off that missed pass, but that late hit by the Huskies kept the Aggies still on offense, and they were able to capitalize on that. And the Huskies, once again, getting in quite a bit of penalty trouble tonight, as they were last week. They've definitely got to clean that up as they start facing teams like Perry and Chandler and Mountain Point down the road. Here, Huskies expecting an onside from Easton Jones, and that is exactly what they're going to get, but they were ready for it. Scooped up by number 17 by Usman Jagni, and he picks it up at about the 48-yard line, 47-yard line, and the Huskies have it in Arborview territory.
The Aggies defense did a great job on Hamilton's last possession and not letting the offense get far down the field. Hopefully the Hamilton offense can continue to build their lead and make the Aggies fight in this ball game.
And a late foul by the Arborview Aggies moved them up to the 35-yard line. And so we see Gavin Goulet back at the realm for the Huskies. It looks like Nick Orvay's night is done, and what a night he did have indeed. Brendan Rice in motion, 3 on the right, 1 on the left. He's going to hand it off to Gabe Armenta, and he is not going to be stopped. And on the first play, he is going to score. Touchdown, Huskies. And once again, Armenta punches it in the end zone, and that is the 3rd rushing touchdown of the night for the Huskies. And that did not take long at all. They very well accepted the positive yardage deep in Aggie territory, and they were able to punch it in from 35 yards. And Hamilton now is up 41-7, looking to make it 42 for Fuller.
Great job by Gabe by shaking off the defender and using his speed to get the ball right into the end zone.
And the extra point is no good. He was hooked at just a little left, and it is still 41-7. So now Colin Fuller is now 5 for 6. And the Aggies are right back out on offense, as that did not take long at all. Gabe Armenta punching it in from 35 yards, and Fuller looks to kick it off again. Very happy fans here in the Hamilton stands as they get ready to kick it off here with 8:21 to go. And appears to be some talking, and Fuller gets ready to kick it off. 2 in the backfield for Arborview to receive it. Number 41, Darius Brown, and number 37, Kyrie Scholes. Back at about the 11-12-yard line as Fuller gets set to kick it away here. Big night for Hamilton, up 41-7, and you just got to like what you've seen.
Absolutely, Connor. Great job by the offense, continuing to build their lead and allowing the...
boots it away. He's going to get returned as Kyrie Scholes. He's going to get it up, and gets to the 40, and he gets dragged down at about the 45. Big hit and a big return by the Arborview Aggies special teams, Kyrie Scholes, and they pick it up in Hamilton territory as the Aggies look to build upon their last offensive drive, which resulted in a touchdown, a 2-yard run by DeAndre Washington. Washington has been receiving a lot of carries tonight, and he hasn't let the Aggies down. First and 10 from the 46 here for the Aggies. Down 41-7 with just over 8 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. And for Arborview, obviously you make the trek down here, come play Hamilton. Obviously out looking for blood after last year, and then just not the start you wanted, down 14-0 within the first 5 minutes of the game. And it's just been all downhill from there. They haven't had a whole lot of success on offense, and Hamilton's defense has just been all over them. Rodon with the carry picks up about 3. And you could start to expect some of Hamilton's backups to enter the game. Try and get some experience as we carry on here in the fourth quarter. And Alyssa, even though you're up 41-7, you still want to be sharp and still precise, right?
Indeed, Connor. Don't want to let anything could happen. Don't want to let you do not want to let Arbor get more points on the board and make this a closer ball game.
You're exactly right. Obviously, always preparing for the next game. Next week, Hamilton is on the road, taking on the Tolleson Union Wolverines as Darius Brown carries it for about 5 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 4. And obviously, Hamilton was up big against Tolleson last year and kind of let them back into it. They still picked up the victory, but again, obviously, it kind of comes back to all about keep your foot on the gas pedal until the final whistle blows.
I agree with you, Connor, indeed.
Third down and 5 here on the 41-yard line with 6:50 to go here in the fourth quarter. Arborview looking to punch it in again. And a handoff, and he's going nowhere. He's going to fall short. And a little bit of pushing and shoving, and you can imagine the frustrated emotions for Arborview. Obviously, down big and not what you expected. As it'll be 4th down, and Arborview appears to be going for it. I do not see the punting unit coming out. Obviously, it could change. It'll be
number 22, Brendan Maslin, going in for the Huskies as a defensive player was injured. Number 32 on the Hamilton defense was injured on that last play.
Maslin, the linebacker, entering the game now. It'll be 4th down and 5 as we look to get a wording from the official on whatever appears to be the case. Arborview does appear to be going for it, back in that double wing formation. Here, big play for the Huskies. If they could shut down the Aggies, it'll just be about enough. Hands it off to Washington going up the left side, and he is going to get stopped. He looks short, and the Aggies turn the ball over again. Washington did not get enough to get the first down, and Hamilton will regain the ball with 5:55 to go.
Hamilton defense coming up strong and getting the stop on 4th down for the Huskies. Huskies will take over with 5:55 left in the fourth quarter.
Here, Goulet back with 2 on the right, 2 on the left. In motion. Hands it off, and he's going to go nowhere. Hands it off to number 27, Xavier Ridgway, the junior running back. A lot of the backups starting to show up now for Hamilton with 5:42 to go. Here loses about 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down on the 36-yard line. And
Hamilton trying to let the clock run down in attempt to avoid any injuries for the team as they're up at a very comfortable lead, 41-7.
Comfortable indeed here. Let's get down to about 10 seconds on the play clock. Jagney in motion, and he's going to go backwards even more, so he loses about 3 on the play, and it'll be about 3rd and 15, 3rd and 16 with 5 minutes to go. And obviously, with the backups, and it's just learning, getting that experience in, because you never know when they're going to need to come in when it matters.
I agree with you, Connor.
3rd and 14 here on the 36-yard line. Hamilton has gone backwards. Not too much concern, though. In motion is Jagney. Moves to the right, makes it trips on the right, or left, excuse me. Hands it off, and that one is going to be incomplete as Jagney looks for the catch, and it tips out of his hands. And that has become a common concern for the Huskies, as they've had multiple instances where they've been looking to pass the ball and it'd be right in his hands, but he's dropping it. And so Brady Kofall will boot it away with 4:34 to go, and be a 3 and out for the Huskies. Not too much concern, though, up 41-7. As Koval will boot it away from his own 17.5-yard line. Kyrie Scholes back to receive for the Aggies. Here's they're going to let it run down and call a timeout. First of the half. And we will see the punt in a few minutes. Very impressive night for the Huskies indeed. They knew what they were up against, a team that had 363 yards on the ground last week in a thriller, and they shut them down. They were unable to get the ball moving. They had 2 big plays on the ground, but other than that, they were just shut down.
The double wing offense of the Aggies were able to get a lot going on the ground, which allowed the Hamilton defense to completely shut them down on the running game.
Here, Kofall back to punt. Cole Martin. Aggies looking to potentially get a block and get a quick touchdown. Obviously, no matter what the score is, you obviously want to keep playing hard, and boots it away. And it gets to a Hamilton bounce at the 39. And see a little bit after. No flags, and it'll be Arborview ball. And
nice punt by the Aggies kicker, Huskies kicker.
It's all right.
Brody Kofall with the big boot. Aggies in their own territory with 4:22 left in the 4th quarter.
Apologize about that. Trent Whalen, the backup QB, in and pick up about 2, and a late flag, and Huskies don't know exactly what they were thinking on that play, as they had him stopped and they just continued to try and tackle him down.
Huskies getting a little over aggressive after the whistle.
And Hamilton really needs to figure that out, because there's going to come times later where those penalties are going to kill them.
Huskies need to keep their composure and listen for the whistle.
Mike Zadevsky probably not going to be very pleased about that, but other than that, I mean, you can't really be too mad about the Huskies tonight. Successful offensively and defensively here with 4 minutes to go here. First down and 10 on the Hamilton 45. First down and 10. Rondell in motion. He gets the ball, and he's going to pick up 3 and gets to about the 42-yard line as the clock continues to run. So if you're Arbor View, obviously not what you wanted tonight. It's going to be a long drive back to Las Vegas, but you've got to quickly turn around. You got a big rivalry game next week against Legacy. So quick turnaround for the Aggies here with 2nd and 8 on the 43-yard line here with 3:20 to go. And a pitch back to Rodon, and Brown, fumbles the ball, and he goes backward. He loses about 6 on the play.
Huskies defense continuing to remain strong here in the fourth quarter.
Darius Brown with a disastrous play avoided there and loses a bunch of yardage there, but it'll be 3rd down and 13 from the 48-yard line. And the Huskies look to put this one away with 2:47 to go. Always nice to see the Hamilton fans sticking around all the way to the end. Obviously not a whole lot to be upset about tonight, as we have 3rd down here with 2:33 to go. Back in the double wing formation. Whalen gets the snap, hands it off, goes up the middle, picks up nothing there. And so it'll be 4th down and long, and gotta wonder what the Aggies will do here with 2 minutes to go. Do you punt it off or just keep pounding? You know, you always got to keep improving for next week, especially at home against Legacy. You gotta keep going.
Keep your heads held high and keep on fighting, no matter what the score is on the board.
Definitely got to put this one in the rear view. Not what you wanted, but it's what they have. So 4th and 13 from the 48. 1:46 to go. 13 on the play clock. They're trying to let play run down, and Easton Jones does look like he's going to punt it, but they're going to reset the play clock here to 25 seconds. As the clock continues to run, Easton Jones back to punt it away, and the Huskies do not have anyone back to receive the punt. They're just going to let this one go here. And Easton Jones punts it away, lands on the 12, gets an Arbor View bounce down to the 3-yard line. Big hustle there by the Arbor View Aggies. By Cameron Chapman getting down to force the Huskies deep in their own territory. But at this point, you can imagine that they are just going to run out the clock here with 1:18 to go. And for the Huskies, once again, next week on the road, taking about an hour drive west to Tolleson Union High School to take on the Wolverines. Obviously looking to build on their first 3-0 start since 2016, when they went 3-0 and would eventually go on to finish 8-4. Hands it off, and he's going to go about 1 or 2 yards, and that should get it down to about 28 seconds to go. And the Huskies are going to let the clock run down. And I don't see any motion to call a timeout on the Arbor View side anytime soon, as they'll get down to about 29 seconds on the clock, as the Huskies will look to put this one away. And a big, big win for Hamilton. Obviously, you know, you had the big test against Highland, but people were still wondering, you know, are they legit? And they fumble the ball there. They pick it up. They lose about 1, but that should do it. With 30 seconds to go, we'll see if the Huskies run one more play. Looking like they're about to line up at midfield. And that will do it with 16 seconds to go. Hamilton with a big 41-7 win. And the Huskies move to 3-0. And this makes you wonder, are they real contenders this year?
Well, based on their past 3-year performance, I think it's definitely safe to say that they've shown that they can be good contenders in this year's playoffs.
Yes, indeed, as Hamilton will look to take their talents on the road to Tolleson, and then 2 weeks from now they're back at home for homecoming against a tough Mountain Point team. So obviously keep grinding and, you know, never look back on anything. Keep moving forward. As the Hamilton fight song is coursing through these stands here. The Hamilton Huskies led behind Sebastian Dormont's 2 touchdowns, Nick Arve's 3 touchdowns, 2 of them to Christian and I, and then Gabe Armenta cementing the game late in the 4th quarter with a big 35-yard touchdown. And Hamilton's offense is looking seriously legit this year. You know, they surprised Arborview early, got the ball, took it down the field. Then they got a fumble right away and punched it in again, and they never looked back. As Arborview struggled with their secret weapon, the double wing offense. But I expect that they'll rebound, especially for their big rivalry game against Legacy next week in Las Vegas. And as the Hamilton win song starts playing throughout the stands, thank you so much for joining us here on Hamilton High Sports Media and AZ Sports 360. We will see you in 2 weeks for the homecoming game against Mountain Point. Thank you again for tuning in. Go Huskies.